The absolute innocence of childhood is amongst the most difficult qualities for a painter to capture, even for a great portraitist. None of the usual conventions work, resulting in paintings that make children look like stiff, unconvincing little adults. Sir Anthony van Dyck was one of the few artists who was able to capture the natural charm of childhood, and his portraits have provided a guide for centuries. In this portrait of Prince Willem II of Orange, the artist meets a double challenge: to depict a child of about 5 years of age, simply and directly, as a rambunctious young lad with his dog. But, as the sumptuous dress of the sitter confirms, this is no ordinary child. He is, in fact, the heir to an important prince, who himself will one day govern Holland, one of the most rich and dynamic powers in Europe, and he is a boy who would be the father of a king of England. In this regard, Van Dyck's subtle and ingenious composition succeeds perfectly. The young sitter is only slightly more than a toddler, and still wears the gown worn by boys before they were breeched or put in trousers at the age of 6 or 7. It is of a golden orange silk, the color of his princely house. In further confirmation of his noble lineage, Willem stands before a rich tapestry with the line of Nassau rendered faintly in flickering brushstrokes. The portrait of Willem was painted in 1632, a seminal year for the painter. Visiting the Dutch court at The Hague, Van Dyck was commissioned by the Prince of Orange to paint a portrait of his son, the young Willem. It was the eve of Van Dyck's departure for England, where he would become court painter to King Charles I, and where he would reach the summit of his fame. In fact, a second version of this portrait was ordered by King Charles I of England, and this seems likely to be that painting, recorded on Van Dyck's arrival in London. The composition must have pleased King Charles, as Van Dyck painted portraits of the English royal children only a few years later.